Would you endure what the ancient initiates endured? Could you die without dying? Burn without flames? Descend into darkness and rise in light? In the sacred temples of Karnak, Abydos, Luxor, the journey was not taught, it was lived. A path walked in darkness, silence, death, fire, and light. The same path remains. If you stay until the end, you will learn how you too can walk the path of the ancient mysteries, and what conditions your soul must fulfill to be worthy of the journey. Initiation began in darkness, eyes veiled, guided into the labyrinth. The soul descended into Amenti, the underworld of shadows, alone with fear, alone with truth. Why was this necessary? Because fear is the first gatekeeper. Until you meet your own terror, you do not know your strength. In that black corridor, the initiate faced his shadow, not a metaphor, but a confrontation. Only those who did not lose themselves could emerge. The darkness purified illusion. It taught trust. It awakened inner sight. Then came silence. Days of solitude. No voice, no light. Only the storm of thoughts. Why silence? Because the gods do not speak to the noisy mind. In stillness, the soul reveals itself. The initiate learned to listen not to the world, but to the breath between thoughts. The silence became a gate, a mirror, a womb. Only those who tamed their inner noise received revelation. Without this, all wisdom would be distorted. Next, the tomb. The initiate was laid inside a sarcophagus, not to die, but to bury the ego, the illusion, the false self. Why a symbolic death? Because transformation requires surrender. The body remained, but the self dissolved. In darkness, with no certainty of return, the soul either clung or let go. This was the moment of truth. Who are you when all is stripped away? If he returned transformed, an echo of Osiris, who was dismembered and rose whole. Then came fire, a wall of flame, illusion for the courageous, terror for the hesitant. The initiate stepped through, not to burn the body, but the fear. Fire cleanses. It strips away the dross. Only what is true survives. Then, water, cold, deep, primal. To walk through water was to return to the womb of the cosmos. To emerge was to be born again. These were not theatrics, they were inner alchemy. Fire transformed will, water purified essence. Only one who passed through both could be considered awakened. And finally, the test of knowing. Before symbols carved in stone, the initiate was asked, "Do you see? Do you remember?" These were not riddles, but reflections of cosmic truth. The Ankh was not a cross, but a map of life eternal. The Jed, a spine of divine stability. Hieroglyphs were not words, but frequencies. Why this trial? Because knowledge without experience is dust. Only a purified soul can recognize divine patterns. This was not memorization, it was gnosis. Only those who could read the language of the gods could pass beyond the veil. Only then was the initiate named Ma Keru true of voice, one who had died before dying, one whose word carried power, because it was rooted in truth. And now, you who listen. This path is not sealed, it begins within, where fear meets truth, where ego meets flame, where silence births vision. The temples have crumbled, but the fire still burns in the hearts of those who seek. Persevere, and you shall see the light. And if you feel ready to break the chains of illusion and ignorance, know this. Solon holds the path of mystical initiation, the very same trials walked by the ancients. But only the courageous, only the pure-hearted may enter. If you are ready to begin, come speak with Solon at soulwizzard.com.